Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to iTouch App Reviewers. In this video, this is part 2 of a 4-part series. So if you missed part 1, go watch it. But this is part 2 on creating your own Amazon brand online from the comfort of your home using Alibaba.com. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Alibaba.com for sponsoring this video and this series. But without further ado, let's get right into this. So this video is all about finding the right product on Alibaba.com. Now this is possibly the most crucial step to this whole process, because if you pick the wrong product, it's not going to sell right on Amazon. And if you pick the right product on Alibaba, you're going to have a fantastic time selling and making money online from the comfort of your home. So really, this is the make or break step. You want to make sure you get this right. So pay close attention and let's get right into this. So Alibaba.com is actually set up super simplistically. So up at the top, you've got your big search bar where you want to search for products, or you can switch it over to suppliers if you want. Then over here, you can sign in or join, which you will definitely need an account to proceed to the next couple steps in the next video, where you are actually talking with the supplier and getting more information about the product. So in this example, we've searched up TWS headphones, which is true wireless headphones. And this is not necessarily a sector I recommend, but it is something that I'm going to show you as an example because electronics are not usually a good thing to get started on right away. If you're a newbie, you're going to want something more static, like for example, a phone case or something that doesn't have moving parts, something that's simpler that you can really understand how it works and not have many issues with supplying it and manufacturing it. But I digress. Let's go into this, and I'm going to show you guys what I do when I'm looking for a product on Alibaba.com. So typically what I'll do, I'll search up a product, I'll scroll down just a bit and see what the first couple options are. So these look pretty good, but then I want to make sure that they actually coincide with what I am looking for. So if I'm looking for cylindrical headphones like this, this is a good sign because it's on the top of the results page. And as you guys can see, there's a variety already right here at the top. And I can keep scrolling and see a bunch of different types here. But what I like to do first off is just turn on trade assurance, because that's what I use when I am making a purchase on Alibaba.com. I use their trade assurance because it gives me peace of mind knowing that my purchase is going to be protected and I'm not going to get scammed. So trade assurance, turn that on. They're kind of like a middleman. When you are paying a supplier, the money goes to Alibaba.com, not to the supplier, until they've delivered the goods and everything is good. If you have any issues, they can give you your money back and reverse it if it was a scammer or something. So trade assurance is good, and verified supplier is not probably as important, but I like to look for it as well. It just gives me a little bit more peace of mind, but is definitely not required. It's just another good thing to have. Next up, let's talk about product types. So you got ready to ship, paid samples, fast dispatch, delivered, duty paid, which is actually what I do. And I'll talk about that more in the next videos. But you're going to want DDP if you are going to ship straight from your Alibaba.com supplier over to Amazon. If you don't want to have any headaches or deal with imports and customs and all that, you're basically going to want to choose DDP. It's a little more expensive, but you don't have to worry about anything, which is super cool. Anyways, ready to ship means it's ready right now. You don't have to wait for them to manufacture it. So if you just wanted to throw one of these in your own custom box or something, they've got the product right now. You can also sort by minimum order quantity if you want to narrow down these quickly. What I've personally found is that most of these manufacturers and suppliers will work with you to kind of get that minimum order quantity down if you need it down for the first order, if they think there's going to be a long relationship. So that's usually not something I would sort by. Minimum price if you're on a budget. And then you can choose your countries, certificates if you want, and product certifications, waterproof standard. I mean, there's tons of things you can narrow down, but the main ones I do, trade assurance and sometimes verified supplier. So let's scroll down here. And what I'm looking for my first product on Amazon, if I want to sell something for the first time, I want a small order quantity. So minimum order quantity. Like this one is 5 pieces. That's tiny. So I look for something that's small quantity, but cheaper as well. So I don't want to go in buying like 1,000 of these $5 headphones and hoping that they sell. I want something that's proven, and I want something that's not going to financially ruin me if I make the wrong decision, because inevitably sometimes you're going to make the wrong decision. Not everything is going to be perfect. But you guys can see here, there's tons of these suppliers. There's so many pages here of just endless of these suppliers, and these suppliers are all trade assurance and verified. So let me actually look for one of these real quick and just see if I can find one that I like the looks of. So something that would be, obviously these are all verified and trade assurance suppliers. So I'm going to find, these are cheap enough, but they don't look super high quality. Let's go with, this one says $1.50, so that's pretty good. But it probably means you have to buy a lot. Once you're actually on a page, you guys can see this one has a video, which I love. I love the ones that have videos. You really get a feel for the product and how it looks when the customer gets it, as well as what you're going to be ordering. So you guys can see here, this guy has this headphone set here. Pretty minimal packaging, but We don't need to pollute the earth anymore, so not bad. So we would choose USB, and then you can choose your colors. So this supplier has multiple colors. You could choose all of them. You could choose some of them. It's totally up to you. And it's $10 per piece for a 1-piece minimum order. That's mostly just for like a sample. Now, when you're looking at samples here, do not be shocked if they ask you to pay like $20 or $30 for a sample of something. And typically, they will remove or deduct that cost if you choose to go with them. So if I order a sample of this, and let's say it's $10 for this and $20 for shipping, so it's $30 for one sample, I'll pay them. They will ship that sample to me. And if I choose to go with them and I order 500 pieces of this for X amount of money, they will take that X amount of money and minus the $30 that I spent on the sample. So that's a cool way to kind of get a slight discount for your first few orders, especially if you're going with a new supplier, to kind of test the waters. But definitely ask them and make sure they will do that. Most suppliers that I've talked to will do that. It's just kind of a common courtesy thing. But you guys can see here, this guy's been in business for 2 years. I like to do 3 or more, but one of my suppliers that I'm actually working with now, I think was around 2 or 3 years. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. This guy has less than 5-hour response time, lots of transactions, 100% on-time delivery with 2 diamonds. So this guy is probably just fine to be working with. He is also verified. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys how to actually contact them, if this is the best way or if there's better ways. And we will go over that and how to speak to the manufacturer. But let's take a quick look at a few more things on this page before we go too much further. You guys can see it's got reviews. So if we click on that, we can actually see the reviews that people have left for this product. They've even left some pictures. That's definitely something to look at. Also, there's been only 23 buyers, which isn't a lot, but you guys can see the quantity. It's been going up and up. So clearly they're doing something right. So you can see if you want customized logo, it's going to cost, well, you're going to have to place an order of 1,000 pieces. Same with packaging. But let me tell you, the suppliers I've worked with, they will almost always drop that down for you if you're serious. So sometimes they can drop this down to like 500 or 200. So you just got to work with them. You can see right here, trade assurance, Alibaba.com freight, if you want to compare rates. And you've also got your payments right here. So they've got Visa, Apple Pay, Western Union. Some of them allow PayPal. Personally, if you want my honest opinion, what I do, I like to use Alibaba.com's trade assurance, and I pay through my PayPal to the trade assurance. It's the most secure way because I'm using my credit card through my PayPal to trade assurance. So that's like 3 layers of protection on my transaction. So if something goes wrong, I can go to Alibaba.com and say, hey, something went wrong, refund me. And they will most likely do that if there was something wrong. But if they didn't, I can go to PayPal and say, hey, something went wrong, help me. And if they didn't help for some reason, I could go to my bank credit card and say, hey, something went wrong, help me. So that's personally how I do it. That's just a pro tip. I recommend it, but by all means, you can use any of these other ways. Be advised, it's a little riskier to use Western Union or wire transfer for your first transaction. So maybe do that once you get some trust with these suppliers. On here, you can send your message if you want, and then they've got some related products down here as well. So that's kind of how I do it. So for my first product, I look for trade assurance, verified supplier. In the business for longer than 3 years, if possible. 2 years is probably fine. I look for the diamonds. Response time is super important, as well as the product price. So I try to keep mine below $3 for my first item if I'm buying a bunch. So I don't want to spend a ton of money on that first item, less than $1,000 if possible. So that has been it for part 2. Part 3 is coming out very soon, so make sure you're subscribed, hit that bell notification, and like the video if you like what you see. Drop a comment down below if you have any questions. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.